Hello everybody, I'm Ninjo X the Enlightened Gamer. Welcome to another Enlightened Vlogs. I don't even know if this is going to go up, to be perfectly honest. I like to be positive. I'd love to be able to just come on here and talk to you guys and tell you good news, like last time when I got to tell you about the new expansion to Side. I have a very small fan base right now. And in a lot of ways that's a good thing. But because I have such a small fan base, I know a lot of my fans personally. And I try my best. I respect them for who they are. People like, well, I'm not going to name any names, but this is actually my day off. This is the one day off a week that I take from recording, from editing. And I'm recording because this got to me that bad. A friend and fan of the show, who again I will not mention names, listed on Facebook a series of games that he wanted to get. And I'm all for having diverse experiences. I myself have played many games that I didn't care for, or that now I look back on and I think, what the heck was I thinking? But that's all good, all well and good. But what really got to me on this particular post was comments a couple sections down. All the games that were listed were games for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. All of them were shooters, except for one, which was an EA game that I won't name specifically. I'm not saying shooters are all bad games. I've certainly played my fair share of very deep, very atmospheric first-person shooters. Unreal 2 was pretty deep at times, very atmospheric. Portal is one of the most artistic games I've ever played. Halo Reach is incredibly atmospheric, incredibly deep, and incredibly artistic. Even though its gameplay mechanics are the same as the other Halos, and on that sense it's very shallow. But anyways, down a little bit on the list, he said, and I quote, I wouldn't say this if I wasn't quoting it, "Yeah, fuck Pokemon." Seriously. And I said, I posted a meme, and maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but I think that it's been very enlightening for me that I did. I posted the meme, "Son, I am disappointed," immediately after that. Immediately after I read that comment. Because that's where I was disappointed. And this person got incredibly defensive. Incredibly. It's like, yeah, well, COD's pretty lame, but I blah 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 blah. And then I said, I forget exactly what I said, but I said something along the lines of, I said something along the lines of, don't play games just for fun. They can be so much more than that. That's the point of this show. And he responded with some sarcastic, lengthy quip about how, yeah, people don't play Zelda and Pokemon just... Of course they do. Of course they do, but that doesn't mean that is how they are meant to be played. That doesn't mean that that's how it's meant to be done. It can be done, but that doesn't mean it's meant to be done. It's like being a single parent. You can do it, but it's going to be a lot harder on you and a lot harder on your kids. For every medium of art, there are those that take advantage of it for money. And And for every... It's... I'm going to have to do some censorship on here really quick. Take the blank canvas. The blank canvas is possibilities. It could be a simple painting. It could be realism. It could be abstract. It could be beautiful. It could be ugliness. It could be symmetry or asymmetry. The possibilities are endless. And there are people that will produce this work in this general area of art. But for every one of these, we get 3 or 4 of these. I hope that was censored enough for you guys, because it's just... There is such a thing as video game pornography. There always has been. It's always been around ever since the beginning. Video game pornography is something that I hit on in my Blue Let's Play. The whole point of me playing games on this channel, more than the success of the channel, more than my own happiness, what I want is to spread the message for this channel. The message that I opened up Pokemon Blue with. That video games that we love, can be deep, rooted, meaningful, and artistic experiences. And I'm not just talking about the obvious ones, the Earthbounds and the Majora's Masks. I'm talking about the Pokemon games. I'm talking about games like Viva Pinata, that are, on their surface, very childish, very oddball games that most... I'm not saying don't have fun. Fun is part of enjoying your life. But there's so much more to life than just having fun. This is literally the thing that one needs to learn in order to grow up. I used to be the exact same. I used to think, well, I'm not having fun, so I'm not going to do it. All the time. All the time. I'm not perfect. And I've had days, weeks, months, years of my life where I've done incredibly stupid and incredibly selfish things. But just please hear me out. The message that I want to get across on this channel is that video games that we love can be more. But there are some games that can't. There are some video games that are made for the purpose of making money. I know this person who got very defensive personally, and I get the feeling that he was just frustrated that I was saying that he thought that I was attacking the games that he wanted. When I was attacking, I was really more than that, defending Pokemon, which is a game that I love, which is a game that I proved has depth in my Blue Let's Play. What really upset me with all this is the idea that this person, who will remain nameless, was missing the point, was missing my message. Depth isn't found in Easter eggs. It isn't found in unique gameplay. Depth isn't found in visuals or music. Depth isn't found in any one thing. That's why it's deep. You can't have a deep puddle of one thing. The ocean isn't just water. It's water, it's salt, it's carbon, it's sulfur, it's life, it's sand, it's flesh and bone, metal. puddle on the street, that can be all water and mud. This is what depth is. This is what I search for. Depth exists in works of art. A work of art can't be just one thing. Well, no video game is just one thing except for mobile puzzle games. True. But with positive depth, there is also negative depth. This is something that I haven't gotten to talk about yet. Negative depth is when something, for lack of a better word, pornographic is used that undoes some of the depth. Like gore or over-sexualization, which, while I don't think it's a thing in the games as bad as some people think it is, it certainly is a thing in some games. Vulgar words, hyper-violence, cruelty, too much freedom. Freedom to do monstrous, horrible things that can actually detract from the total depth. I don't watch a whole lot of TV anymore. The reason I don't watch TV as much anymore is because it's rife with this negative depth. Sensationalist news shows, vulgar, disgusting TV shows. Well, Ninjo, you just need to get with the times. I don't think so. I've realized what most adults have realized. That there's so much more to life than filth. I hate having to talk about stuff like this because I'd love to just be able to talk about something fun. Fun is a very important part to leading a good life, but it's not the only thing. There's so much more. So much more. More for you, more for me, more for the entire planet. But people don't see that. All they see is that they want to get their 7 chuckles. They just want to have a good time. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with wanting to have a good time. But the best times that I've had, especially with video games, are the times when I'm playing a game and I'm thinking, I've got to make things right. I'm not having any fun here. I need to make the fun happen again. These are the most artistic moments. I'll go back to my favorite game, Banjo-Kazooie. Mumbo's Mountain is pretty much just a good time and a means of finishing up your tutorials. Treasure Trove Cove is a slightly more advanced tutorial, still nothing too complicated. Then the game drops you into Clanker's Cavern, a filthy, dank, dark, creepy, polluted prison. I can't honestly say that I was having fun any time I was in Clanker's Cavern. But you know what? It's my favorite level in the whole game. Do you know why? It's because it's not fun. It's because going through Clanker's Cavern is so different from the rest of the game, except maybe Rusty Bucket Bay, that you're thinking, I've got to make things right. I've got to get back to where I'm having fun. I've got to get to Bubble Gloop Swamp and Freeze Easy Peak and Gobi's Valley. I've got to get to Mad Monster Mansion. I've got to get to the fun parts of the game again. That's the depth. That's the artistry that people miss in these games. More than anything, I don't want to attack you guys. I never mean to attack you guys. If I say anything that offends you, I'm sorry. Because I want this to be an open place where we can not only have fun, but learn to love. Learn to embrace the immortal emotion that weathers even the impossible, even time. Even time stands still and steps aside in the presence of love. And love isn't necessarily a sexual thing. Love is not joy. Love is living art within ourselves. I want you to experience that. I want myself to be able to experience with you, to be able to vicariously experience it through you. It is the most important thing to experience in your life. And it's way more important than fun. I am Ninjo X, the Enlightened Gamer. Until next time, stay enlightened and leave your heart and mind open.